Happy New Year and welcome to Flavor. Today we're going to do foods that are going to bring you prosperity for the new year. So stay tuned, we'll be right back.
Get homegrown produce packed at the peak of freshness with Pfeiffer's Delmarva Box CSA program. Become a member today at PfeifferOrchards.com. Pick from 9 or 18 weeks of fresh fruits and vegetables. Select from local meats, eggs, and cheeses, and your bountiful box of Delmarva fresh produce will be packed and ready for pickup at a location near you. Pfeiffer's Delmarva Box CSA program is the fresh, fun way to feed your family. Become a member today at PfeifferOrchards.com.
A master of farm-to-table cuisine, an award-winning duo of local ingredient brewing join forces to create a culinary experience made from the best that Delaware has to offer. Brickworks Brewing and Eats in Smyrna, Delaware, a made-from-scratch fusion of Delaware's best, like glazed baby back ribs and apple jalapeno slaw, paired with drop trowel, Brickworks exclusive unfiltered IPA. Brickworks Brewing and Eats in Smyrna, Delaware, made from scratch from plate to glass.
When Abbott's Grill throws a party, you know it has to be good. From small business lunches and cocktail parties to full-service wedding receptions and off-site catering, Abbott's Grill makes planning simple and stress-free.
We take care of every detail so you can enjoy your event.
Abbott's Grill has catering options for every budget. Call 302-491-6736 or contact Laura Burton at abbottsgrilldE.com. Be a guest at your own party with Abbott's Grill Private Dining and Catering.
Welcome back. Today we're going to do foods that are going to bring you good luck for New Year's Day. I did a couple of researches here because I myself was trying to figure out why are these foods going to bring you luck for the year. And a couple of items that we have such as black-eyed peas, lentils, braised cabbages, pork and sauerkraut. Most of them I found were based on financial, like bringing you prosperity. Lentils and black-eyed peas, for instance, represented coins. And the more coins that you had, the more prosperous you're going to be. The Greeks, which I thought was kind of interesting, they would bring a fruit that had seeds in it, and they would actually stomp on it in their front door. And the more seeds that actually released, the more prosperity they'd have for the new year. So we actually brought out a little bit of a pomegranate and a couple items here that we'll take a look at in a minute. But I have a couple special guests today. I'm going to introduce one to you right now. His name is Ian Boyan. He is the son of the producer, Bill Boyan. And a number of years ago, I guess maybe 12, 13, even longer, maybe 14 years ago, when we initially did the show, Ian was very helpful in helping to carry his dad's equipment and part of the behind-the-scenes filming of the crew. So he's obviously much older, and he is following a culinary path. He actually works in the kitchen, worked with us a little bit. So welcome, and thanks for helping me out today. Of course. So a couple things that we're going to do today. If you want to take a look here, we have some lentils. We have some braised, we call them southern braised greens, which are collards done with bacon and onion. Then we have our apple bacon sauerkraut here. And these are the pomegranate seeds that are going to bring you prosperity. And then we're going to have a guest star today, Lulu B, to show us the famous Lulu B black-eyed peas. So we're going to do that. But to get started, why don't we make a little, will you help me make a little cornbread? All right, so why don't we separate those bowls here, and we're going to go ahead and get all our dry ingredients first. And if you could, we have 1.5 cups of each flour and cornmeal. Go ahead and add that. I'm going to do a little bit of salt and pepper. That we have a little mixture to save time. Okay, why don't you do a couple of, like a good heaping spoon of the baking powder, which is going to help you with your rise. A little bit less than that. Okay, perfect, perfect. Okay, In here, in the dry ingredients, I have a little bit of cumin. This is going to be more of a southwestern jalapeno style. So in here, I have a little cumin with garlic powder. You can add it right to that. Good deal. So that's kind of our dry ingredients. So we're going to go ahead and add our wet ingredients. So we have a cup and a half of buttermilk and 3 eggs. All right, add a little tiny bit of salt and pepper to that as well. And what we're going to do is I want to do the 2 jalapenos here. So I'm going to take the jalapenos and try to take the seeds out. I'll just kind of take them here and press the outside here and come down the inside if we could. And if you can give me a fine chop on those or dice on that. Let you use my knife here. And I'll add those. And we're going to add a little bell pepper and just cut the tip off. Don't need a lot of it, so I'm going to go ahead and assist him with this. It doesn't matter where you add this. You can add this to the dry or to the wet ingredients. I'll just add this way, and you can add it that way. How's that? Then I'm going to add a little bit of red onion. Just try to do a little bit of a fine red onion while you get the other jalapeno there. And just kind of get it as fine as you can. No mistakes here. So Ian has gone to school, and he is a ballet dancer. And if you'll see one of our ads for First State Dance Academy. Ian was one of a star pupil there and has actually moved to New York, not city, but right outside of New York City. And so he is doing continuing education there for a dance troupe, as well as working in a restaurant. So he's kind of the restaurant dream. He's kind of supporting his art, but also, making a living at the restaurant level. So if I can get you, what I did is I kind of rolled up the cilantro here. I just want you to chiffonade it here and do a rough chop, and we'll go right in there. While he's doing that, I'm going to go ahead and spray a cake pan. Make sure that when we're ready to invert it, that it's not sticking. So we have our dry ingredients there. We have our wet ingredients here. I have about 2 ounces of melted butter. So I'm going to go ahead and start breaking up the eggs here. And I'll start adding the butter into the wet ingredients. And then in theory, it should be enough liquid. Sometimes you have to add a little bit more of the buttermilk to it. You could probably go either direction here, but I'm going to go ahead and add the dry to the wet, and then have Mr. Ian add the cilantro there, and see if you can give me a good stir in there, incorporate it all. And we're going to go ahead and put this in an oven and bake it at about 350 for, depends on the volume. If you have it really thin, obviously you'd be cooking it less. If it's very deep, then we're going to have to cook it a little bit longer. So according to this amount here, I think we're probably going to go about 20 minutes or so. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in the oven. We'll be back in just a second, and we're going to go ahead and get started on our black-eyed peas. So stay tuned to Flavor.
State Dance Academy. Sign up now.
Master the farm-to-table cuisine. An award-winning duo of local ingredient brewing join forces to create a culinary experience made from the best that Delaware has to offer. Brickworks Brewing and Eats in Smyrna, Delaware. A made-from-scratch fusion of Delaware's best, like glazed baby back ribs and apple jalapeno slaw, paired with drop trowel, Brickworks exclusive unfiltered IPA. Brickworks Brewing and Eats in Smyrna, Delaware. Made from scratch from plate to glass.
When Abbott's Grill throws a party, you know it has to be good. From small business lunches and cocktail parties to full-service wedding receptions and off-site catering, Abbott's Grill makes planning simple and stress-free.
We take care of every detail so you can enjoy your event.
Abbott's Grill has catering options for every budget. Call 302-491-6736 or contact Laura Burton at abbottsgrilldE.com. Be a guest at your own party with Abbott's Grill Private Dining and Catering.
Hi, welcome to Miss Billion Fitness. Everything from step mills to treadmills, arc trainers, ellipticals, upright bikes, recumbent bikes, and even a couple of rowers. At Miss Billion Fitness, we have over 23 classes on the schedule every week, from body pump to kickboxing to boot camps, spin classes. We do small group training. We have personal training. We even offer judo jiu-jitsu program. We have a little bit of everything for everybody.
Hey, Eric here. Don't miss a thing at Miss Billion River Brewing, the world's premier craft brewery located in Milford, Delaware. Stop on by for a sample, or a six-pack, or a growler, or if you just want to stop by and have a pint. Check us out at MissBillionRiverBrewing.com.
Get homegrown produce packed at the peak of freshness with Pfeiffer's Delmarva Box CSA program. Become a member today at PfeifferOrchards.com. Pick from 9 or 18 weeks of fresh fruits and vegetables. Select from local meats, eggs, and cheeses, and your bountiful box of Delmarva fresh produce will be packed and ready for pickup at a location near you. Pfeiffer's Delmarva Box CSA program is the fresh, fun way to feed your family. Become a member today at PfeifferOrchards.com.
Hi, welcome back. My other famous guest star today is my business partner and partner, Laura Burton, aka Lulu B. And years ago, we, I think on our first New Year's Eve day together, you made us this recipe. It was Lulu B's black eyed peas, and it's now a tradition.
Right.
So
you would have good luck all year.
So I would have good luck all year. So how did the recipe, how did that come about?
Well, actually, I was watching a Martha Stewart show, and I made it my way, but I just thought that it should have sausage instead of ham because I can't eat ham.
Right.
And I thought we'd use shallots or onions and celery and a little bit of Tabasco in there with the and the parsley. I mean, the parsley makes it perfect. Yeah.
So Martha Stewart needs to watch this show and kind of step up her game a little bit.
She made it with ham hocks.
Yeah, and that's awesome.
So I like a little Italian sausage, sweet Italian sausage.
Right.
And I don't like to put something too spicy in because I share it. I put them in containers and take them around to all my friends so they all have good luck.
Awesome.
So anybody that can't handle spice, like my father, they can still have it.
Awesome. Well, today I'm very fortunate. I have a lot of hands today for help. So I'm going to have Ian, if you would be so kind. I have some fresh garlic here. So if you could smash those, rough chop those. If I can get you to do these in a like a small to medium dice. On the celery, she likes to use the leaves. So if I can get you to kind of chiffonade down a little bit and then do some finer cuts for me here. So that would help me get that started. One of the things that we talked about doing is that we talked about making our own sausage. And you like to do a kind of like a sweet Italian sausage, but maybe with a touch of spice to it, right? So what I have done here is we do pork schnitzel here. So we trim out the whole pork loin, And we always have like a little reserve from the chain and everything, and I trimmed that out pretty good. But we're going to go over here and we're going to go ahead and do a little grind on it. I would have to say this is probably a medium grade on the die. If you want to, you can actually grind it and then regrind it. And the idea with whenever you grind any of your product like that, you want to have it as cold as possible. A lot of times people will take it and put it in the freezer to get it done. Right now I have about a pound of ground pork that we did. I'm just going to put a tiny bit of brown sugar in it. That's going to be our sweet. I'm going to season that with the salt and pepper to taste. I'm going to add a tiny bit of red wine vinegar. I made a seasoning salt, and what I did is I toasted fennel seed, a little bit of mustard seed. I have garlic powder, onion powder. I have basil, all dry, basil, thyme, and oregano.
Nice.
Does that sound about right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Very nice.
We're going to put that in there kind of liberally because we want a good flavor here. Mm-hmm. It also has a little tiny bit of red pepper flake. So I'm going to work that in. The flavor that most people are trying to identify when they think of sausage is probably the toasted fennel. We're going to work that in, and this could be done the day before, and actually would probably work better to allow it a little time to macerate and sink into the actual pork. But a lot of these recipes, like you did, you adjusted the recipe to your health conditions or your taste conditions.
Right.
So that's what I always love about cooking, is that you can experiment and do whatever you want. These are the black-eyed peas. And what we did last night, these are about 2 bags of black-eyed peas, correct? Mm-hmm. And we soaked these overnight. And what the soaking process does is allow it to kind of expand, and it'll 2 things. It'll shorten the amount of time you have to cook it. So also when you have it in a pot, it's not like just soaking up all your stock too. You know? So, but it starts the process. We're going to go ahead and drain these off here. And in a saute pan, we're going to go ahead and start the process here. Ian's coming along very nicely over here with his cutting of the onions and celery and garlic. I'm going to put a little bit of oil in the pan, and then you can start browning that.
Okay. Are you doing all right?
Yeah. The idea is to go in there, kind of break it up, rough chop it, right?
Right.
So once we get this browned a little bit, then we're going to add the garlic and onions and celery.
And and it really does it just needs to be brown because it'll still cook in with the beans.
Okay, good deal.
Black-eyed peas.
Yeah, I think it looks good.
Yep.
So what, you would put the garlic in for a second?
Yep.
So let's add our garlic. It's about 4 or 5 cloves of garlic. Stir that around for a few moments. Right?
Yep.
And then let's add our onions.
Perfect.
So the idea is to cook your aromatics. Your aromatics are all in the onion garlic family.
We miss Ian working with us.
Do you have any really good New Year's Day, stories? No, well, jokes would be funny, but New Year's Day stories where maybe you dropped off some black-eyed peas to somebody and they won the lottery?
No, I don't know. I think that everybody had a good year that year.
Yeah?
Yes.
All the years.
All the years.
Right. All right. So we have our celery by Master Chef Ian Boyan. So we'll stir that in.
And I'm glad that you put the leaves in there. I think they're very tasty.
I love using leaves. Whenever I do my potato salad or anything, I shift and I have a real fine cut the leaves in there. I think it's great when you pick them and use them in salads.
Yeah.
And people are trying to figure out what that flavor is.
Right.
I'm going to go ahead and add our beans in.
Gotcha.
And how about a couple quarts of chicken stock?
Yes.
Actually, I have a little white wine, so we're going to deglaze it with a tiny bit of white wine.
Thank you.
And I have about 2 quarts of chicken stock here.
Awesome.
Okay. Over on this side, if I could get Ian again to use his skills, if I can get him to chop some parsley and some fresh oregano.
The oregano can be dried also.
Yeah, if you don't have fresh, feel free to use some dried. We're going to season it with a tiny bit more salt and pepper and about 10 shakes of Tabasco.
Yes, that's good.
You tell me when.
Okay.
Okay. Is there enough liquid in there for you? Or?
I think so.
Okay.
We may need a little bit more.
Okay.
Because these beans are going to
soak it up.
Soak it up.
Okay.
And the thing with the Tabasco, if you need it spicier, you can add the Tabasco later.
Okay. Yeah, to adjust it or add more,
to
right?
Taste. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So here's a couple of bay leaves. Can never hurt to have a bay leaf.
Right.
How long is this going to take?
I normally do it low for about 2 hours.
So this is a great crock pot recipe.
Right.
Like,
and that's normally how I do
you
it.
would
I
do it.
start here and then I go to the crock pot.
Okay, so maybe the night before
Right.
you would start it.
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Very good. When Ian's finished here, we're going to add the ingredients. Is it fine to add them now, or should you add them at the end?
No, it's fine to add them now.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So as soon as he's finished, we're going to add that. We'll take a little break right now. We'll come back and we'll start assembling things. Our cornbread's getting ready to come out of the oven. I'm going to show you a little trick that Andrew Hooven, our pastry chef extraordinaire, showed me a little while ago. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Get homegrown produce packed at the peak of freshness with Pfeiffer's Delmarva Box CSA program. Become a member today at PfeifferOrchards.com. Pick from 9 or 18 weeks of fresh fruits and vegetables. Select from local meats, eggs, and cheeses, and your bountiful box of Delmarva fresh produce will be packed and ready for pickup at a location near you. Pfeiffer's Delmarva Box CSA program is the fresh, fun way to feed your family. Become a member today at PfeifferOrchards.com.
A mastered of farm-to-table cuisine, an award-winning duo of local ingredient brewing join forces to create a culinary experience made from the best that Delaware has to offer. Brickworks Brewing and Eats in Smyrna, Delaware, a made-from-scratch fusion of Delaware's best, like glazed baby back ribs and apple jalapeno slaw, paired with drop trowel, Brickworks exclusive unfiltered IPA. Brickworks Brewing and Eats in Smyrna, Delaware, made from scratch from plate to glass.
When Abbott's Grill throws a party, you know it has to be good. From small business lunches and cocktail parties to full-service wedding receptions and off-site catering, Abbott's Grill makes planning simple and stress-free.
We take care of every detail so you can enjoy your event.
Abbott's Grill has catering options for every budget. Call 302-491-6736 or contact Laura Burton at abbottsgrilldE.com. Be a guest at your own party with Abbott's Grill Private Dining and Catering.
Hi, welcome to Miss Billion Fitness. Everything from step mills to treadmills, arc trainers, ellipticals, upright bikes, recumbent bikes, and even a couple of rowers. At Miss Billion Fitness, we have over 23 classes on the schedule every week, from body pump to kickboxing to boot camps, spin classes. We do small group training. We have personal training. We even offer judo jiu-jitsu program. We have a little bit of everything for everybody.
Hey, Eric here. Don't miss a thing at Mississippian River Brewing, the world's premier craft brewery located in Milford, Delaware. Stop on by for a sample, or a six-pack, or a growler, or if you just want to stop by and have a pint. Check us out at MissBillionRiverBrewing.com.
So welcome back. We just pulled the cornbread out of the oven and the pan is still pretty hot. But while it's hot, I want you to go ahead and take a wooden skewer and kind of go all the way through it and make them all over the place. And the secret that Andrew had told me was that when it just comes out and it's nice and hot, I had Ian make a simple syrup, which is basically equal parts of water and sugar. And while she's doing that, I'm just going to spoon in just a little bit of simple syrup, and this will penetrate all the way through and give you a real moist. You don't want it too crazy sweet, but this will go through, and people are wondering why you have the moistest cornbread around. This is how it's going to happen. So I'm going to let that soak in here for a little bit. Oh, nice, nice. Mm-hmm. And then we're going to go ahead and cut around the outside to see if we can free it up. Normally I wait for this to cool all the way before I try to invert it. It's like anything, like a cake. It's still, if it's hot, it's gonna fall apart. Your beans are looking awesome.
And they smell awesome.
Yeah. Do you want to go ahead and start? We'll build a little
some
plate
in there.
here.
Okay.
Yeah. Have your plate there. They're starting to have the, now you want a little broth to it, right?
Exactly.
Okay, so
Yes.
we're gonna go ahead and put our beans down, center our plate. And that's what the cornbread is for, to soak all that up.
Right.
So we're gonna put that there. Then I have a little bit of the southern braised greens. We'll go ahead and just put that right in the middle. And I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna try to invert this and see what happens.
Perfect.
Whoa! Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and do a quick cut, and you can see the steam coming out of it. And I'm gonna turn it back around to its top side. And that looks awesome.
Beautiful.
That's a whole bunch of good luck right there. And right here, we had the pork schnitzel that we do. Pork schnitzels on our menu. So pork and sauerkraut are a classic. So there you go, 2 awesome dishes. On a side note, as we were making one of the dishes, the cornbread, I omitted that it took sugar. I ended up putting a half a cup of sugar in there. And then I also kind of wanted to let you know that Laura is the event coordinator of Abbott's Grill, and also Broad Creek and Laurel. Right. And we just came off an amazing
December.
Christmas holiday season.
Yes.
So if anybody needs to have an event or book anything, any good suggestions?
Graduation parties. We are on site and off site, so we can come to your home. We can go to different venues, right. And of course we have our private dining room that we try. You know, we book lots of parties, business meetings, pharmaceuticals, baby showers, bridal showers, and weddings. Yes.
Right. Be a guest at your own party.
That's it. That's our motto.
Right. So I want to thank Laura, and if Ian can come over here for a quick second, and just want to thank you as well, and much continued success in the dancing career and your culinary career. So I'm Kevin Reading, and this is Flavour. I'm Chef Kevin Reading of Abbott's Grill, and welcome to Flavour, a show based on interesting people and places of the Chesapeake region. Stay tuned, and hopefully we'll learn something together.